Good morning, students. Today, our session will be on digital customer transformation and the use of artificial intelligence in decision making. So, our session will be for around 15 to 20 minutes. So, let us give the objective is to give you an overview of what digital customer transformation is and how technology is being used to enhance decision making. So I'll share my PPT with you. Let us go ahead with the presentation. Uh, this, as I said, the objective is just to give you an outline of the course, the entire course that we are going to take up this trimester. Hope the screen is visible to you. So this is a topic again. Let us go through the topics we will be covering in this session. So first we'll try to understand what digital customer transformation is all about. We'll look into the key areas of digitalization that happen in an organization. We will look into how technology drives decision making by using data. So we talk about data driven decision making. Then we look into the different levels of automation that are in the decision making process. We look into the different functional application of artificial intelligence, and we finally talk about the change management trends that are happening in organization. So these are the topics we are going to cover. Now let us look into try to understand what digital customer transformation is. What we should understand is that the on the one side the organizations are pushing forward technology, and on the other side, as consumers become more and more aware and familiar with technology, they also expect the organizations to be well versed with technology or to adopt to technology. So there is pressure from both sides. That's the way you should look at it. Okay, now to our topic, DCT. What does it refer to? It refers to the use of technology, digital technology, to fundamentally improve customer experience, to improve customer engagement, thereby build satisfaction and long-term value creation. This is what the objective of DCT is. That this is why exactly that is why we coined the term digital customer transformation. So giving the customer better experiences, trying to engage him more digitally, giving him him or her the satisfaction, and building long time value for the customer. This is what we talk about when we say digital customer transformation. Going forward, which are the key areas of digitalization in an organization? We have defined um, 7 key areas of digitalization that happen in an organization. If you look at it, customer centric digital experience. So, what are we talking about? When you talk about decision making, we normally say customer decision journey. So, the customer is in a journey to purchase certain things it starts from let us say, the recognition of a need or a search, and finally ends up with the purchase, and it doesn't stop there. You have a post purchase behavior, then you have the same process continuing. So there are different models to describe the purchase process of a customer. We call it digital customer journey. So in a digital world, how does it how does the consumer experience this? He experiences through the mobile applications, the interactive boards that are available, the self-service portals that are there. So these are the different ways the customer gets engaged with the company or the brand. What is the primary objective? The primary objective is to improve the customer satisfaction and the loyalty. The second key area is data-driven decision making and personalization. So there is tremendous amount of data that are being collected So every customer creates a lot of transactions are there, a lot of what do you call uh, the details of the customer is being tracked and they are available. So if it can be used in such a way by technology that you can reach out to the consumer with personal messages, offers and recommendations, that is one thing that the company wants to do. He wants to personalize. It is called in another way, you can think of it probably as mass personalization. So everybody gets a customized uh, message or recommendation, exactly what based on the data. So it's a data driven decision making today. What is the primary objective? The primary objective for the company is to enable informed decisions and customized offering. The third thing is omni-channel presence. That is an integration of both online and offline. So customers today are, we call it a phygital world, correct? No, we're both a physical and a digital world. So there is a lot of interactions happening. The customer would like to be, uh, uh, some of the times they will search uh, offline, they go by online, and it can be the other way around also, where you search online, then you go by online, sorry, offline. So these are the the from the company side, they try to create a omni-channel presence there. So what is the objective? To ensure convenience and consistency across touch points. What do you mean by touch points? As we said earlier, the customer decision journey. So you have various touch points where the consumer is getting in connect with the brand or the company. So these are all touch points, giving them a good feel, giving them the good experience counts. So when you talk about online and offline integration, you have to be consistent across the touch points, because when a company deals with a vendor, the vendor should also be giving that comfort or that type of experience the consumer likes. Only then she or he will get back to the brand. Okay. The fourth area of digitalization in a company, we can say it is process automation and operational efficiency, where you integrate the whole functions in the organization. You have an ERP format, let us say the Zoho or SAP type of integration. So, what is the advantage of this? You are able to reduce the cost as well as improve the productivity. Efficiency is improved. You are faster. You are a lot more cheaper. You can reach to the consumer a lot easily. Bottlenecks are avoided and integration is possible. And we move on to the next key area, digital product services and business model. So in a digital platform, you have to have a revenue model that facilitate the transaction and build revenue for the company. How does it happen? So the companies generally have various revenue models built. Let us say, for example, the subscription model. uh, these are all new revenue streams that are being created in a digital environment. So the company has to be very thoughtful enough to have a revenue stream, have a revenue model, so which can bring in the desired revenue to the company. The sixth area of digitalization is technology infrastructure and cyber security. It's not just about putting a technology there. You have to be careful with the data that you try to the company gets from the consumer, the type of maybe the demography, the private data, all that makes sense. So it cannot be leaked out, or it shouldn't be. There's a privacy issues, there are security issues, and moreover, uh, when you talk about this type of things, infrastructure in an organization, is your technology, if you're taking in a new technology, is it compatible with the old one? Is there interoperability or scalability is possible? So these are some of the considerations you have. So you can't bring in a technology just like that. You should see how compatible or how scalable it can be, how it can be integrated well with the system already there. And then you have a whole lot of issues with regard to security and privacy. So what primarily the organization looks for is for agility and protected digital assets. All that they have are digitalized, so it is a big asset for any company. They don't want to lose it or have privacy issues with regard to that. And then finally, we talk about the seventh key area, digital culture, skill, and change management. So it all works when people in the organization are able to take the technology or take this new workflow. So what may be required is you may have to upskill the employees. Employees have a lot of concerns. Their anxieties are there. Their stress points are there. So how do you manage all that? So putting them at ease, giving them the good communication, informing them how it has to be, training them, um, seeing that they are not overly worried or anxious about the technology that comes. Many of them will be worried about the jobs, what will happen to my career, what will happen to my job. So all these are possibilities which leadership only can tackle most of the time. Do they have the vision, the strategy? Have the correct culture, digital culture in the organization? Only then you can bring about a good change transformation. You cannot take a pattern that is worked in the old traditional way when we had less of technology. So a digital world requires that the organization also adopt a new strategy for change. So that's what. So what is the primary objective? You want a long-lasting, long-term digital transformation should happen in the company. Let's move on. Now we look into some of the examples that we can probably talk about. Are banks are one best way of looking into how digitalization has happened there, digital onboarding using mobile app. Whenever we talk about technology today, mobile first uh, is the keyword today, because any technology you have to have it in the pocket, or that's in your mobile. That works better. That's what the consumer prefer. He wants to interact through the mobile. So banks today offer almost all the facilities, from onboarding to uh, uh, all different functions that you can. You don't have to physically, you don't have to go to a bank physically and do many of the operations. Most of the time, you can comfortably do with your mobile. So digitalization is that. Okay. When then you have a lot of e-commerce platforms day to day that most of us may be using. And how do they perform? They perform, and the recommendations that are pumped to you, you push to you, you know that they are AI driven recommendations. So such a big pool of database of customers. How do you get recommended for particular products or offers based on your likings, or based on what you have purchased in the past, or based on your demography, based on your transactions? So they have their own algorithms that can recommend what is that you may require. So you can talk about telecom companies. They're providing self-service portals are there, chatbots are there where you can interact digitally. So these are all examples from B2C. You have a number of examples from B2B. Okay, now let us talk more about data-driven decision making, you by use of technology. So artificial intelligence, we know it is, when it comes to decision making, it is an analytical tool, and it is supportive, or it enhances the managerial judgment. uh, you are talking about decision making that are facilitated by artificial intelligence. So what do they do? In fact, They help you forecast. They try to assess risk for you, help you with the risk assessment. They try to personalize the based on the customer, based on the person. They try to personalize. They try to optimize the resources, and they also give different scenarios. So this is what the AI can do, and at a fraction of time compared to what we would have otherwise struggled with on a physical context. So, what is the benefit? You have increased decision speed, you have consistency, and you can process high, unimaginable high dimensional data, which is otherwise not possible humanly. It may not be possible. Okay, so let us look into the different levels of automation and decision making. When you talk about the levels, let us talk it from the perspective of whether it is descriptive. See, it looks into the data that you already have, your past transaction, your past behavior. So, what has happened? Can it be plotting that? Can it be reported in a meaningful way? So, for example, the sales dashboard. So, things that have already happened, can it be described? Okay. The next level, we talk about diagnostic. You are trying to find some root cause of something that has happened. What is the root cause? Root cause analysis, we say. Why do you want to know? Because you want to identify a pattern. If the pattern is good enough, the outcome is good enough, you want to uh, study the pattern and get it reinforced, get it improved on. If the outcome is bad, you don't want to, you try to minimize or reduce those type of patterns. So it is diagnostic in nature. Predictive, what are we trying to talk about? You want to be predictive, you want to be futuristic. So you want to forecast. So you are trying to say about the future. What can the consumer uh, probably, what is the next decision or action he may be taking? The other one is prescriptive. Prescriptive is more like what you should be doing. So it's an optimization way of looking. So uh, you have you're probably, let us say, you're considering many options, but what best is good for you? So they are suggestive in nature. If you look at it, they can be suggestive. They are more optimized decisions that can be for you. And then we finally talk about the automation as such. See, all said, the technology help you with data and they come out with optimized results. That said, there is human assistance that is required when you take particularly decisions, key decisions. You cannot leave it um, to the technology. So human assistance is required. So these are the different levels of automation that you can talk about in decision making. Moving forward, what are the different types of AI used by managers today? And number of tools are there, ranging from all normal things that we use, maybe let us say ChatGPT or the Gemini or a number of other tools that are used by craft or people who are doing artwork. So a number of AI tools are available. So basically, we can classify that into supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, reinforcement learning, natural language processing, computer visions, and remoting. What do they mean? Computer vision and remoting. They are basically used for identifying what do you call or for inspection purpose. Defectives are there or not. So quality inspections, they want to monitor their assets. So these are all different types of artificial intelligence that are used by managers today. We move on to the functional application of AI. So functional, what did we mean? In business functions that we are talking about. We are talking about marketing, finance, HR. Where are they used? There are many places or applications of, for example, let us say HR, the recruitment, tracking, process, screening process. In finance, maybe fraud detection, the risk modeling, trying to identify those type of what do you call the frauds or possibilities of fraud, whether it has happened, trying to find the root cause of it. When you talk about marketing, we already said you can have personalized way of offerings for the for each individual. So operational side, supply chain, see operations, we want to always look at the cost and the efficiency of any operation. So you want to optimize or you want to get a better efficiency. So efficiency gain is what we are looking in when we talk about operations. So artificial intelligence or technology help you with that. We talk about supply chain inventory optimization. Again, these days the supply chain is very complex. You have a network of logistics or supply chain. How do you work it out? So you need the integration of all this. Errorless. It should be faster. It should be cost effective. So how do you balance between all this? So artificial intelligence or technology is the answer to it most of the time. Customer service, yeah. See, you cannot be getting into a very stagnant state when, like, say, for example, a customer has a problem. So, how fast he can be addressed, how fast a solution is brought to him, how fast he can be attended to. So, improved satisfaction. Let us say customer service, that's a key area, and then strategy for better planning. And so these are all the functional applications of AI. Finally, let us come to how do you bring about all these changes in an organization. Like we said at the introductory part, it's not easy. You cannot depend upon your old traditional way of doing it. See, the way the technology is disrupting so fast, it happens so abrupt. So that continuity is not there. It is not a slow process. So today technology is giving real uh, tremor all throughout the organization. So continuous technological disruption and innovations one after the. So how fast can the organization adopt? How can they be more agile, adaptable, and how good their learning orientation is. So all this requires that people are at the base of all this. When you talk about change management, it is just not installing a good technology, looking into the infrastructure, putting things together, looking into the interoperability. It's not just that, it is also about people we are talking about. So, the need for upskilling, the need for good communication strategies, the need for technology ethics there, the need for the workforce challenges that you face, the anxiety, the stress, all this, how do you manage? And finally, you need good leadership, leadership with vision, uh, we leadership that are able to be innovative, that have the tolerance to innovation, temperament for innovation, and who are ready to collaborate. But this will be the success story if you want to put in technology in an organization in today's environment. So finally, let us go back and have a look at our where we started the topic. So we spoke about digital customer transformation. We try to understand what it is. We said it is about customer experience, engagement, the satisfaction, and then creating values. We looked into the key areas of digitalization in an organization. We broke it down into 7 segments and looked into it. And specifically, we talked about data driven decision making. In an AI context, we tried to look at it. So, different levels of automation we saw. We have looked into the functional application of AI. Functional, we meant cutting across HR, finance, marketing, supply chain, strategies, all this. And then we finally concluded by saying that the change management, the process has to be carefully dealt with, and leadership is key when you talk about change management. So with this, this should be a springboard for our discussion in future with regard to this particular course on digital customer transformation and the use of artificial intelligence in management decision making. So the session comes to an end here. um, I would like to invite you for the future sessions. You can look into the presentations that are going to be put up in the uh, LMS, or so. If you have any questions, you can raise them. In time, we will in our next session, we'll talk elaborately on each one of this module. So, with this, good day to all of you. So, thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye.